Hi everybody, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today's episode is based on the Rachmaninoff Prelude in C# minor, Op.3 No.2, and it's dedicated to Savannah. This is a wonderful piece and really a popular one among students for good reason. Sometimes people refer to this as the Bells of Moscow. I'm not sure exactly where that nickname came from. Obviously, these first notes sound like very reinforced bells, like these big church bells tolling. I want to give some practical tips and advice about this piece today because I hear this played very often. A lot of students bring this to me, and a lot of times they have misconceptions about how to play it. They have a lot of confusion. So I want to bring in some pointers here that can help each of you. Let's start out with body weight rather than harsh attacks. That's the first big mistake I see a lot. And by the way, when you lean in with flat fingers. That will help to distribute the weight more evenly, and it will help it to be very rich. Okay, so that takes us on our first two little bars there. Also, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's really critical. A lot of students do not count that. I would highly recommend counting out loud there, because when we're in a performance mode or even when we're practicing, our brain speeds up. We don't have a very good sense of time unless we train ourselves to, unless you actually work a lot with the metronome, unless you actually count out loud a lot. Our sense of timing is skewed, and especially in performances. I've listened back to concerts that I've played, and I always thought in the concert, oh yeah, I'm totally in a reasonable tempo right now, and then I listen to it after and I'm like, my gosh, I was really rushing there. I did not wait nearly as long as I thought on my silences. So do that on this part. The other thing I want to bring up just with this first part is these figures. I still think those dominate even after these are brought in. So I'm not saying it has to be fortissimo still. It's in that triple piano dynamic, but I would bring these out a little bit more. Reach up to the painful G sharp, and then die away, and then a little more resolute up to there, and then resolve to the G sharp. Take a little time there. So, one thing we want to keep in mind is we want to think about dynamic hierarchy. How are we going to shape this whole passage? Then a long descent. So I think the first one, stay soft. Louder, or take a little more time, vary it somehow. I'm just trying to spur ideas. Each of you can come up with your own interpretation of what exactly you want, but we want to make exact repetitions a little different. We don't want them to be the exact same, otherwise it's just like repeating the same sentence twice. There's no need for it. You want to accentuate it somehow. So again, I'll do the first time through. Okay, and we're going to pretend that I've waited all that time. Take your time, and even softer, and then come out, and then exact opposite. Second time through. Growing more to there. Making that very heartfelt. Either way, or you could just continuously grow all the way to the G sharps. That's not a bad idea either. There's so many options that you can make convincing. That's what makes music such a beautiful art form. It continuously gives you opportunities to be inspired. It continuously gives you opportunities to experiment, and it never has to be the same. I have a great class that I'm taking right now at my school. The teacher's name is Edward Parmentier, and when you first meet him, you think, wow, this guy's a little crazy. He's really funny, but he, from the first class, really instilled into us, this is how you play it on Monday, and then Tuesday you feel like this, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday you're going to feel different, and then Friday. He's not saying you have to play the exact same way on each Monday. He's saying that each day should bring new inspiration. Each day should bring a new idea, a new, fresh outlook, and your moods can affect the dynamics. So be aware of that. This part is very crucial to not make a silly mistake that I hear everyone make. They immediately, almost 100% of students do this. Double time. Slam on the brakes. Don't do that. It's okay to speed up there. I agree with that. But you have to do it very subtly. So same tempo now. You can speed up and then slow back down to there. And then you're in the tempo again. Really magical. Another word about this low G sharp, if you like this, you can put this in your sostenuto pedal, the middle pedal, and then you can change on each of those. It makes for a nice effect. Also, when you get down to this triple piano here, don't be in a rush. Is very flexible, and don't immediately do this. It's like a shotgun race. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear it morph into something magically. Time. I'm not saying you have to do it that exact same way, but don't be a metronome in here. Students think that you get good technique by just doing a million different exercises and just, if I can play the Winter Wind Etude, like that, or La Campanella, they think that's good technique. Good technique does not come because you do a million exercises and your hands get really good. Yes, you got to put in diligent work, but put in smart work and express this. How beautiful are those different levels? Some of these Rachmaninoff harmonies. You know, I could just sit all day and just revel in those. And same, those were first movement of the second concerto, second movement of the second concerto. I'm working on that concerto right now, which is probably very evident. I'm just completely obsessed with those details. Same feeling. So that you can grow. Okay, now, I've actually never even learned this piece. This is just mostly from sight reading through in lessons with my students, so I actually don't know this next part. I'm going to show you how I would work on it, because a lot of students wonder how to work on this. I've explained it to tons of students. I've never actually sat down and learned this passage, though. So let me show you how I would do it. I would do those three, and then those three. I would just do that a bunch of times. I gotta get comfortable fingering, so I'm gonna think of that as group and that as a group. See how I'm doing these rhythms? Dum bum 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 to there. I'm always finishing on the next beat, and then to there. So. Ah, gosh dang it. Again, I would just keep redoing that over and over again. I might do it in many different tempi. Lots of different expressions. See, already it's in tempo for those first little things. I'm not saying the whole passage is going to go that quick. It's just you get little bits and pieces in there. And one thing you can do is you can practice stroking. And then stroke a little more abbreviated. Also practice free hands. My free hands video is very, very seldom viewed, which is quite disappointing considering how many videos I have, and it's one of the least viewed videos. If any of you are watching this, go watch that free hands video. I'm not trying to get more video views. I really don't care about my view count. I care about instructing you guys with the best possible material, and that lesson that I learned from a master teacher about releasing into a neutral hand position is one of the best ways to free your hands up and improve your technique. So check that out. You can apply that same exact concept here. I'm going to move on just for time's sake. When you get to the triple forte, still have a little bit of dynamics. To there. And then recro to there. Let's see what these notes are. Come down a little there. And then more. And so that you can feel those dynamic gradations even at your climax. You never want to stagnate with any dynamics that you do. Just a quick word about the ending. Again, take your time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, Now, here's a trick. Don't do 1 and 2 and 3. That makes it sound like that eighth note has turned into a quarter note. Keep it as an eighth note. So what you actually do is you stretch your dotted quarter a little longer, and then you let your eighth note flow into the last beat. So you take the retard on the C sharp minor root position. Sorry, it's not root position. It's root position. The right hand, left hand, it's G sharps. So you take your time on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let those last two flow a little bit. I'm not saying you gotta rush it, that would be terrible. But one thing you wanna do is, you don't wanna stretch it out to sound like a quarter note. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That makes you sound like you don't know the piece. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And again, as I know your hands are going to be stretched out here, flat fingers and just a little bit of arm weight here, just kind of let it fall into it, and your hands act as shock absorbers. That will give you that nice triple piano sound there that Rachmaninoff asks for. I just want to thank all of you for your dedicated viewership. Also, several of you have donated to the Josh Wright Piano TV project under the About section under the donate button. I truly appreciate that. I'm extremely grateful. I'm flattered that you find these videos helpful. And I just want to keep emphasizing these important artistic concepts. Remember that every endeavor in music is ultimately about artistic development and artistic maturity. I asked one of my students a question the other day. I said, if you had $50 million just given to you today, what would you be doing? And she said, I don't know if I'd drop out of school or if I would, I'd travel the world. And I said, once you're done traveling, once you've seen all the places you want to see, what would you do? And she said, well, I'd probably find a way to invest the money. And I said, once you're done with investing the money and it's secure, what would you do then? Or I know you have to manage your money, so I know that's kind of like a full-time job, but after that, what would you do? And she's like, I don't really know. And I told her, I said, if that was given to me, I would probably be doing the exact same thing I'm doing now, because why does this really matter when people are starving in certain parts of the world? Why does it matter that we... Why aren't we out helping them? Well, we do our best to help them, but we have to make our own lives beautiful. And this quest for beauty in music, no matter if you have a very stressful job, no matter if you have a few moments a day to really sit down and make your life beautiful through refining these beautiful expressive details, that's what music is about. And while we're all doing our best to help each other, take some moments for yourself each day to make your own life as beautiful as you can. You will be better able to serve others because music can change your life for the better. I know I'm getting really philosophical here, but I just feel that it's very important to realize these things. If any of you have questions, feel free to email me. My email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Also, if you're interested in online lessons through Skype, you can email me at the same address. Thanks for joining me today.